So this painting started with confidence and slowly turned into a series of bold, questionable decisions. I thought I had a plan, but clearly I did not. Let's just say this one took me on a journey. So stick around. I have reduced this 3-day video into 1 hour and 10 minutes. And it will take you from acrylics all the way to oils. And I'm still not completed. It is quite the ride. So enjoy. I started off painting acrylics on this face, and I thought I was going in one direction, and I ended up going in a different direction. I wanted a dark background, but somehow something happened where that changed. It's actually solidified for me having a reference photo of something, a guide to go on, and I didn't. I was winging it. And the drawing itself is a girl that I made up. And then I thought, well, I kind of like poppies, so I threw these poppies on there. And they got a little out of control. So, yeah, it's really fun. So I'm starting with the acrylics, feeling good, feeling like I know exactly where this is going. At this point, I'm thinking, yes, this is going to be beautiful. Everything's under control, nothing to worry about. Ha, yeah. Good one. Oh, let me see what happens. So here I'm just blocking in. I'm covering over the dark. I forgot what color I'm using since I did this over a week and a half ago. Oh, it magically changed. Look at that. Did you see that? I turned my back and all of a sudden the whole thing changed. I have another video up that shows how I did that. And I cut it out of this because there was already a video up. But yeah, I tried going over the dark background, which was a burnt umber with a conglomerate of different colors. And I don't know. I think I'm going, what did I do? So we're making some changes. I'm going in and fixing the eyes. So this is definitely where things get interesting. Whoop, she changed again. Did you see that? I mean, I blinked and it changed. Yeah, she's looking a little clownish, so I'm trying to tone her down right now. I don't think it's working very well. So you know that moment where you tell yourself, trust the process, but deep down you're thinking, should I though? We're still hopeful, and it's a cautious kind of hope. So let's see what happens. All right, now I'm attacking the hair, and I'm going over it with burnt umber and a multitude of other colors. I think I end up adding a bit of Prussian blue in there. Look out, she's going to end up with blue hair. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Okay, there goes the blue. So it's a lighter blue I'm putting on. I put some white in with that Prussian blue. Geez, I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I'd like to officially apologize to this painting. At this point, I don't feel like I'm improving it. I'm just moving things around and hoping for the best. If you've ever had a painting go downhill fast, welcome. You're in good company. My gosh, she looks like she should be in a Batman movie. The Evil Queen. Well, the eyes did end up looking good in the end. If you can hang on that long, you'll find out. Oh my gosh, this is scary. This is really scary. This is called the ugly stage, times 10. I don't know what to think about this. But you know, when you're in the groove, you're in the groove. What can I say? So looks like I'm working on the background again. So going out all over all the light that I put on there. So now I'm going over it again with, it looks like Prussian blue. And I'm really hitting it hard. Oh my goodness. She is scary looking. What can I say? I think it does get better. So, stay till the end and you will see it does get better. And I'm much happier with her an hour from her now. And just think, you didn't have to sit through 5 days of painting with me because it's like, I didn't even count the day it took me to draw the piece. And so I drew her, and I think I drew her on paper. And then I transferred onto the canvas after I had prepped the canvas. So that would have been 2 coats of gesso paint plus a layer of ground, which would have been the burnt umber combo that I put on there. And that didn't work out so great either. And yeah, and then I transferred the drawing onto the canvas. So, that was a day. And then there was the first part of this, which I shot at my store. That was a day. And that's always fun because when I work at my store and I do a painting there, I have customers coming in every once in a while. They're few and far between, but when they do come in, they always happen to come in when I'm painting. I'm in the middle of painting. And so then I have to pause it and then go and deal with my customers and then come back. And sometimes I forget to unpause it. And it's a challenge. So here we are. And I got a ton of Prussian blue on there in the background. And yeah, I like the poppy. Poppy is fun. But yeah, it's questionable at this point. She looks very messy, and we get past that. It just takes time, and it's like when I do an abstract painting, I usually have about four paintings in one, and it goes from the beginning to the end. And I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I feel like I have to like a painting before I can sell it. I will not sell a painting that I don't like. So, yeah, that's really important to me. So we have to push our way through all the hard parts and get to the other side, and then it feels good. But it's the getting there that's sometimes pretty tough. Getting through the ugly stage is like the worst part for me. And I just keep going off in different directions. Okay, so here we are. Um, yeah, this is kind of like the point where people quit, and I am guilty of that. I have ones that I gave up on, and I've since found out that even when the painting looks really ugly, put it aside for a while, and then I'll pull them out of the drawer, and it'll be this really hideous face, and I will tackle it, and turns out pretty good, actually. The one I got on right here, she my boat girl. But yeah, she was kind of this poster that I had laying around that I had started, and I had a really loose acrylic face on it, and it was really, really bad. And anyway, she turned out pretty good. But you got to get through the ugly stage. Just keep banging away at it. Now, what I'm noticing here is the face is kind of lopsided, and I know I do correct that. But the way the way the painting looks, it looks like her head is hanging in midair. Oh boy, what was I thinking? Okay. Let's take a check on this. Anyway, she turned out pretty good. But you got to get through the ugly stage. Just keep banging away at it. Now, what I'm noticing here is the face is kind of lopsided, and I know I do correct that. But the way the way the painting looks, it looks like her head is hanging in midair. Oh boy, what was I thinking? Okay. So I'm adding some eyeshadow. Of course, that all changes. Yep, it changes. Hmm. You gotta just keep going, keep going, keep going. And step back. I would step back about 5 feet and really take a look at it. Because if you've got a piece of art on the wall, people don't scrutinize it the way that we do when we're painting them. They are standing back. And when we're creating, our faces are this far away from the canvas practically. So we see everything. And you got to let that go. But she's still pretty scary looking. Yeah, this is definitely the moment when a lot of people quit because it's not looking great and they're not always sure, and I'm not always sure how I'm going to fix it either. So, you just got to roll with it. Look, magically, blue hair. So now she has blue hair. I always wanted to do a girl with blue hair. A lot of times I like doing them with orange hair. It's one of my faves. Or black. So we've got some Prussian blue hair there, and I mixed some of the Prussian blue with some white. And there that is. So now I'm getting rid of that strange white background that caused her head to look like it was floating. And that's looking better. That made a big difference. And I kind of fixed the shape of the face up too, messing around. She looks a little better. We're getting there bit by bit, but it's just painful. With one of the poppy pods. I love those things. I scored a bunch of those from a friend's greenhouse. I thought they were the coolest thing, and the buds were like full of seeds, absolutely full. It was amazing. But I haven't planted them, so I will. I still have them, but I love the pods. I think it's so cool. Okay, so here we have toned the face down. So I've taken some skin color and I'm talking. Look at that. The camera wasn't recording. I did a lot of talking. So that's why I'm doing this voiceover. Anyway, so I toned her face down with some nice skin tones, light skin tones. And yeah, she's looking better. We're getting past the ugly stage, guys. This is a good thing. And then I'm messing with the eyes a little bit here. Patience is a virtue, so they say. Oh yeah, those eyes are really coming to life now. So they're not looking so clownish. And I'm digging it much better. Okay. Whoa, we just did a big jump. And what I have done here, and it's in the other video, the first video, so there's a part one on this. This is part two. And I actually took some liquid acrylic and put it under the eyes and, you know, used it for the shadow. Ditched the blue, so it went over top of the blue and toned it all down. So we're starting to get some definition now. She's looking more like a girl than a clown. Yeah. So you can get to a part in your painting where things just start finally coming together, or so you think they are, until you screw them up again like I just did. I'm going to get there. Yeah. So we shall see. So here's where I ended this one on this particular day. So I'm adding some soft blues here in the background. So I'm just trying to tone down that dark background a bit. And I'm blending it all in a little bit. I'm going to dig up my hockey brush here. See this one? They're great brushes. I love this thing. It's great for blending. Nice soft bristles. So now we've blended the blues into the hair, so we're making the hair disappear. And she's back. Well, we're hitting it with some different colors. And I'm using a wider brush. It's about a 1-inch brush. Soft bristles. I don't like the stiff bristles. I mean, they're great if you're going to be putting on like thick acrylics, but this is not thick acrylics. I want them fairly smooth. I have this wall hook up. I just have nails in the wall at my house, and it kept falling off the wall. So it was really fun. That was a challenge. Yeah. So now I'm just kind of scumbling in white over top of everything else that I've already put on there. It's about layers. So if you like to play with acrylics, you got to remember you layer and you leave bits of the underlayer showing through, and then you layer over top of that with something else. And try to remember to layer transparents over top of solids like white or whatever. Opaques. I was looking for the word. Lost my word. But yeah, it makes a difference. So there I've got the hacky, and I'm blending it in again. And my screen just keeps going dark. Hey, it's a pussycat. Benny. No, he's going to leave us. All right. So I'm still blending with the hacky. The hacky spelled H-A-K-E. Japanese brush. And it's about three inches wide. Did I keep falling off the wall? That was fun. Got to drag my other easel up from my studio, my she shed. I have a metal So here we've got me playing with it at my store, and the light is brighter, as you can see, and the face is more toned down. I've done a lot of scumbling in the background with lots of white, and now I'm kind of drawing in some other weird flowers. I don't know what I was thinking. I found this AI picture of a girl that I really, really liked. I just liked the flowers that were in it. So I got inspired by that. And I do show a photograph of it. It's really cool. And there, oh, and there's the one of the flowers here. I've had this one in my gallery for years, this picture here. And so when I found the AI, it was actually by accident, the AI picture, I went, wow, that's really cool. So there was the same flower. And so I got inspired to put a bunch of them on them. And you'll see they look weird, but it does work out eventually. But yeah, I think her face looks a lot better. I toned down the skin tone, and I think I used the hockey brush on it too to just kind of blend it all in really nice. And so we got rid of all that, clownish makeup she had on. It was really a bad makeup job. And yeah, so it's looking pretty good. So here I'm drawing with a Caran d'Ache crayon, a watercolor crayon. And so I'm using that so I can see what I'm doing. Well, unfortunately, did, I did these two flowers, so it looks like she's got two big boobs. So it was after I got them painted in, I went, oh boy, that's not going to work. So stay tuned. You'll see what happens. But look how great her eyes look. I was really happy with her eyes. They're so pretty. So we'll see. I've still got my pods in the background. I still have the little daisy on her shoulder there, and they disappear. Yeah, things change. So we will see. I think I'm getting, what am I doing here? Oh, we're still on acrylic mode. So I've got some liquid acrylic in that little container, and I'm drawing out the design. So you can see the petals. Yeah, I think I did them a little too big, got carried away. And you see, look, he's like holding two flowers right here. Very strange. So there we go. Yeah. So I had to change that a little bit eventually. Oh gosh, and then I had to go and put another one up top. Oh my goodness. What was I thinking? Yeah. But, it's all art, and if you don't like it, you can just go over top of it and change it. Nothing is forever. I use a little bit of that liquid, I think it's magenta. I use liquid magenta. Throw some on her face there, and then I have to blend it in. So here I'm filling them in, each petal, with different reds. I think this is like a permanent red. And just to get the shape blocked in. Okay, I think we'll just fast forward a little bit and a little blue down to tone things down. Get some shapes in there. And I just wanted some pretty color in the background. Now look how far her face has come. It looks so much better. And that just takes playing around with it. So I'm still using the acrylics here by the looks of it. Now, this part I wanted to point out. On the left-hand side, you'll see they look kind of fuzzy. And I took a spray can of paint, and it's special acrylic paint for artists. It's not the stuff you get in the store. The enamels. And I sprayed that because I wanted to soften the top of the flower. It just was just too everything. I wanted to tone it down a bit. So there we have it. So I'm just trying to lay my acrylics in and just get my shapes. Fine-tuning the shape of her face again, going in with some of that blue. So this is a start, this part in the stage, this is a stage when I start actually liking my girl. And so then I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of it. And this is where I figure out, oh my gosh, those flowers just like too balanced and too big. So I start making the one on the left a little smaller. And yeah, that takes some finagling. But you know, just keep doing it. Cover the parts that you don't want and shrink it down a little bit. So that's what I did. And I'm using some white and I'm just kind of scumbling it around. That's like taking a dry brush and just, I think that helps a bit. And I've gone over her striped top. So, yeah, I got rid of that because that really bothered me. It was just like glaring too much. So here I'm adding a little bit of highlight to her face and blending it in a little bit. Oh, got a bit of blue on there. Yep. You make a whoopsie, just wipe it right off. So here I'm taking some white acrylic and just toning down her hair. Remember the blue hair? The blue hair's gone. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but it was too much. Let me know what you think of my flowers. I feel like they're a bit balanced. You know, it's just like, whoa, 4. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. All right, here we are. This is the next step. You can see the picture to my left there. That's the girl that inspired me. And I'm going over the face with some facial skin tones, very light. And I'm using oil paints. And yeah, this was a challenge for me. I have not painted with oil paints in over 30 years. It's been a long time. And boy, oil paints are really cool. I gotta tell you, you have to try them at least once. And I love how it's creating a nice skin tone. Look at her face; it's just so pretty. And yeah, from what we started out with, which was scary. Remember that? And here we are, home stretch. And I mean, oil paints are magic. They really are magic. And they give you lots of depth. And your painting will be worth more too. It lasts longer. So here I'm just adding some, going over some of the skin. I cover the entire painting with oil paint, basically. But I do a bit at a time. So here we're adding some shadow under her chin. And I like to blend. I just talked to a girlfriend of mine the other day, and she likes to leave things chunky, and she works in oil paints. And then I have another friend who does oil paints with a palette knife, and her paintings are really chunky. I like them smooth. Now see, we've got the shading there. So always think about where your light is going to come from. So on this one, I've got it coming from the right if I'm looking at it. So the light's coming that way, and it's going to cause a shadow under her neck. Look how soft the colors are now. It's so much better. So it's starting to come together, not because I had a plan, but because I didn't give up. Every painting has an ugly stage. This painting had numerous ugly stages, sometimes more than one. And if you keep going, you might surprise yourself. And if nothing else, you'll definitely get a story out of it. And tell me in the comments, have you ever had a painting go completely off the rails? And if you're learning to paint faces, even though the messy middle, you're in the right place. So I've gone over the all the skin, and I can still see the shadow of the flower because I shrunk that flower down. So we still deal with that. So there's my palette. You can see it. And all my oil paints on there. Now, here's what I like about oil paints. They don't dry out. And when you're working with acrylics, they dry so quick. And especially if your weather is warm. And so that makes a big difference. You know, I like to be able to work and move the paint and blend it. And so here I'm adding some different shadows to the flowers. And so they're starting to come alive too. So you've got to get your lights and your darks in there. I kind of mixed these three reds together and put some liquid in there. So we'll see. Oh. And touch of green here. Oh. Well, that was a happy accident. I don't even know what color that was I just picked up. But it seems to be working. Okay, there we go. We have these little lines. And there's one here. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to have to take some of this dark out of here, and I'm going to have to grab a Q-tip. I like that. Add some shadow. Q-tips work pretty good. Makes for a good brush. There we go. Oh, I like that. Gives it some interest. I'm going to soften this edge here. All right. All right, what I have to remind myself, this is not acrylics. And they don't dry fast. I can see it's all wet. Whereas the acrylics, oh my gosh, this would be bone dry already, long time ago. So it is a challenge for me. All right, I'm going to just kind of sort of draw the stalk in a little bit. And I think I'm going to move on maybe to this one. Okay. And get some liquid, mix it in. We want a nice red. So it's going to be darker here. I don't know what you call these flowers, but I sure like them. Something Asian. So I'm just covering the whole thing. And then stand back every once in a while, you know, take a look, because if you're here all the time watching your painting, you can miss out on some things that are going on. Okay. Yeah, definitely is. This is more alive than it was. The acrylic paints are very flat, and so you don't get that vibrancy that you get with a oil painting. Yeah, I like what happened here. Let's see spots where I didn't get the oil paint on there all the way. Okay. Go back down to this guy here, and get a bit of this. Maybe I could do some negative space. Mm-hmm. Okay, there we go. This I need to. Oh, well, this is not my favorite easel. It's, I think it was like $200 or something, but it's not very good. So if you're going to get an easel, part with about an extra $100 or $200 and get a really good one. Because this, I'm not happy with it. It doesn't tighten real well. So just a tip there. You know, if you're planning on doing large canvases, get the more heavy duty. I wish I had gotten the more heavy duty one. I think it was about $200 more. Probably would have been worth it. Just an observation. If you're doing just little things, I guess this would probably be fine. But I found that this has been rather difficult because it doesn't hold things tight. Okay, I'm going to put white on here. Okay, kind of like that. Let's get some more white over here. Okay. So I'm adding in a bit of white with some highlights here on my poppy. Some linseed oil, mix it in, and I'm going to put some more color here. And a bit of white. Okay, this is right. And then we want to put now where's that sap green? Put some sap green here. Mix it with a bit of red. Got more of a brown. Go. And we got, I wonder what kind of leaves they have. I guess I should look that up. Right. Now we got our shadow here. Okay. Get out my trusty. Right. Okay. So going to bring this one out a bit more. Right. Just making sure all the acrylic is covered. Okay. Go stand back a bit. Okay, what I need is some. So here we have the final outcome. Well, it's not really the final outcome, but it's this final oils, and I have put a top on her, so she has a mauve top. I put some hair, and these were all done with the oils. Unfortunately, I didn't capture it on video because, of course, my camera died. But there will be a part 3, so come back. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'm also going to do a giveaway, and it will be a print of this piece once it's finished. So leave me a message in the comments and sign up for the print giveaway. And good luck. And thanks for watching. And here's a little close-up of the oil as it is right now. And part 3 will be coming up next week.